Hey Scorpio, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. I'll move this over here so you can see it. Why don't we get into clarifying your reading? This is for members only. I am going to publish this for everybody when I publish them for all. I think it's coming up actually because the other people have been waiting a long time, and with the current world events, it just might be a good time to post it while I'm going through a transition. So I'll need like a few days and you guys will get some videos and then we'll start over again. That's the important thing, is to keep going, right? And that's kind of the death card, over and over and over. The Wheel of Fortune as well, just keep on keeping on. Ten of Swords again. I have a feeling that it's very important for you to deal with those skeletons in the closet. It's like people who really bothered you, or something about people that really bothered you that doesn't bother you anymore, and maybe you're more prepared to deal with it or face it head on. So yeah, there's a real confrontation here. I think there's a real confrontation. There's a real history of something that once was very heavy for you to deal with, you know, very, very upsetting. And now it's not, it's now jarring. That's the word. It's like it reminds you, like the shadow on the wall that reminds you of something. The person that you work with that reminds you of a bully in school that no longer really disturbs you, but that memory sort of takes you back, and you refine it on a better level now. Okay, let's clarify the King of Cups. So we have the King of Pentacles. So it really signifies that you're either in a very stable relationship with someone who is very affluent, loyal, strong, or maybe you yourself have attained a certain level of comfort and stability, and from that position you're just beginning your whole year and you feel very much supported. Supported or ready to take on the world ahead, the year ahead. To me, he looks like he's looking straight at the rest of the reading, so it really seems as though, you know, he's just considering his options. He's looking forward. Then we have the Seven of Swords. So let me tell you what I thought about the King of Wands. I felt like somebody had interjected or told you something about their opinion, Scorpio, and I feel like this person maybe had meant well, but also at the same time I questioned their bias. So whatever that means to you. So they may have a perspective, you know, they may be biased towards you. They may have their own motive. It's like, you know, I love my Christian friends, but when I'm asking a certain opinion, or Christian or otherwise, any religion, when I'm asking my friends from a certain religious background an opinion, I should expect that opinion to reflect their faith. And that's okay too when you're trying to solve a problem. But it's also something that you need to keep in mind, that it's contextualized within who that person is. Let's see this next energy, Eight of Cups. Fulfillment of wishes. A less of a pressure with regard to women, less of a pressure with regard to emotional connection, less of an intensity. There's a bit of a distancing that's going on, or possibly the fulfillment of wishes by completing a journey towards a woman that's of interest, a very important woman. It could be your mother, it could be something else. Or maybe somebody is coming towards you and that's going to make you very happy. Especially if you are a woman, there's someone coming towards you and it's going to make you very happy and content. It's a wish fulfilled. And then we have the Four of Cups, and that's for the Chariot. I feel as though any challenges with men that you've been experiencing, an ex-husband, a husband, a boyfriend, business associates, I have a feeling that those things are being reconciled. Those things are being worked out quite a lot. And yeah, you're being given and offered something. You're being given and offered some kind of a way through, a breakthrough, some kind of just it's just, how do you say this? The energy comes at you very strong from men. The energy comes at you very strong in this generous fashion. Very like, it's your time to receive, Scorpio, and it's going to manifest as one person or several people who are giving to you and sort of spoiling you, I think. There's like a spoiling energy. Being spoiled. King of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries, secondary transits in Sag, Leo, or Aries. Somebody opened the door for you in a certain path. Someone opened the door for you in a certain path. They led the way for you in a certain path. They saw that you were ready. You went forward towards some goal or towards some ambition. And it was probably the same person. Like somebody sees you and opens the door, whether you're a man or a woman. They led the way. And then we have the Ace of Rods. Okay. First message is the Crone. So an older woman gives you some kind of success with regard to from your families. An older woman in your family gives you a breakthrough, gives you a boost. It feels like you're receiving from a lot of different people, Scorpio. You're receiving from a lot of people who are watching around you and helping you through. The next message is this card, which is number 11. And so I feel as though it feels very much not the prodigal son, which is the son that returns home after earning his manhood, right? This is really about a sage who's returning back to a community, or somebody who's like a teacher who has worked through themselves a certain way. I think this is describing you, which means that you have worked through certain qualities within yourself. Like you had left a group of people one way, and now you're coming back to them in a much more authoritative place where you have worked through certain things, and there's a more of a authority figure about things. And I think you're coming back towards something like with more candidness, more thoroughness. There's a more presence there. Like you feel the presence in your environment. You know your place within it, and you don't second guess it. It's very strong. And then you have this card, which is the Four of Swords. I love this card so much. So Four of Air. It's precision and timing is very necessary. There's this feeling that I picked up on this in the first reading, where you're supposed to go with your gut on something. And yes, go with your gut on something, and then like just push towards things when your instincts tell you. You'll feel very excited. And remember what I said about tunnel vision? So it's like a mix of pushing towards a goal and the timing being precise, extremely precise. So when you see those opportunities this year, it's saying that you should go after them very, very quickly. The next message is the 15 card, which is the Dragon. And it's so neat because she's watching over the Leo here, and the Dragon's watching over her. So it's, I told you guys that you're going to have some kind of an interest or something that other people don't understand, that they don't identify with, but it's going to be precious for you. And in some way, they're watching over each other. So let's say that like you really like the ballet and none of your friends like the ballet, and it doesn't make sense, and they sort of tease you about it even, so you feel really alone in your interest. And you feel alone in your interest, and in some way ballet provides for you that watchful eye as well. So ballet is watching over you as well, Scorpio. The next message is we have the Zero card, the Fool. The Zero card. You're going towards some kind of a new beginning, a very bright beginning. And that's going to be a huge part of your year. This physically moving on, moving to a new environment, moving to a new space, leaving something behind. It's going to be a big thing in your life that shifts or moves one way or another. And yeah, it's just huge. It's a big change. So you move to a new city, you move to a new job, it's something very, very monumental that you are moving with the energy, okay? And then you have the Five of Pentacles. That came through very strong in the main reading. It was all about reciprocity and that tetherball effect, you know, where you hit the ball one way and it comes right back at you. This will be in relationships. Knight of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I think it comes from your own feelings, in the sense that you are thinking very deeply about maybe like who you are and how emotions are in your relationships with others. And so you're very focused on this idea of like how you action or inaction towards other people, and how that relates back to you. So you end up experiencing it in your everyday life. It's kind of like you're thinking about it a lot, so you're invoking the lesson, and that lesson is going to come to help you. Like I told you, karma isn't about punishment. It's about being preoccupied with something and the world conspiring with you to learn it very thoroughly. So it's like you want to have a pure and clean heart, and you see within yourself maybe something that needs refining, that you still need to work on. And so it's that preoccupation with that thing that brings a lot of lessons in your life so that you may refine and learn those skills. It's that tetherball effect. And then we have the Seven of Cups, which is Venus and Scorpio. And so, yeah, this is like very much holding on to things of the past, even though those things are long dead and gone. Like relationships with people from high school, relationships with people from college. They still sort of bother you, I feel, but it's not necessarily like a bad thing, nor are you that bothered by it. But you will see time and again people come through in and around your life who will remind you of times when you were a kid, times when you were a teenager, times when you were a young adult, wherever you were in your life where you felt a sense of betrayal, where you sensed where people really disenchanted you or made you feel betrayed, or stabbed in the back, literally. And so you confront those things again, but this time around it's not going to be hurtful or painful. It's going to be just a reminder. There's going to be people, not that you're getting betrayed this year, let me correct that. It's just people and circumstances remind you of the times when you were. And although a lot of your feelings are healed from that completely and it doesn't invoke a strong feeling, there's going to be kind of moments where you're like, I remember that great big betrayal in my life, and this really feels like that situation, but it's not. Eight of Swords next, Page of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, secondary transits in Earth, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. There's someone or a new love that is challenging you to face your problems. That's what the Eight of Swords is. I thought before, I'm like, oh, the things that are standing in your way. That's what it seemed like before. And now it's seeming like it's the things that, you know, somebody is making you confront things. Someone's making you confront things and grow beyond it because you feel very passionate on becoming a better person. And it's your love for this individual. It's a very young person. It could be your child. You know, the love that you have for a child, the love that you have for another being challenges you a lot this year to become a better person. So in some way they are your savior. It really feels like an angel in your life. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see the next message. We have the Six of Cups, Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio. I have a very good feeling about this row. I have a feeling that there's like just very monumental and timely events happening in your life this year that are going to bring you great luck, great prosperity, growth, fortune. And I have a feeling that this is all correlated with timing. Like the timing of things is really on point. You find the right job at the right time. You talk to the right person. There's like a synchronicity around you. And there's a lot of harmony around you in the way of friendship and trust, and those kinds of things are actually very abundant in your life this year. There's a lot of harmony and social cohesion. Then you have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Nine of Swords next. And so, yeah, very loss for words with regard to flakiness, with regard to someone who's not there, not here, not there, and nowhere. You will feel great frustration if you allow yourself to. But like I said in the main reading, it's all about how you invest your time and energy into this relationship. So, you know, when that friend contacts you who was always flaky and always, you know, inconsistent with you, then whenever you have a friend that in some way is inconsistent or flaky, and if you give them time and space, it's only your fault for having given them that energy. So your frustration at that is an expression of towards yourself almost for allowing that into your life. But maybe there's a lesson in all that too. Typically where we experience frustration, we are growing the most. I'm not saying that, like, some people take it too far, but to me, frustration allows us to, the more frustration you feel, the more you're growing in some way, because any extreme emotion is an emotion of growth. The same thing goes for love and, you know, happiness and joy. But people tend to think that, like, you brought it on yourself. Well, sort of. I hate saying that but ultimately it is your choice. And I had a feeling when I picked this card originally that you, in some way, it's like you knew what to expect. That's the saying. You knew what to expect. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm going to turn them over at the end. Let's clarify the last row. And I switched from this deck because I just wanted a lighter one for Virgo and Scorpio. It's not because it's Virgo and Scorpio. It's because the energy is so intense that the Thoth deck, my regular deck, is just too much. I have to recover for days after using it because it's just such a... There's just so much information. Okay, so here we have the Moon, Eight of Swords. So some things that are hard to confront. It really feels like many of you will get counseling. Many of you will get counseling and counseling support to face demons in your heart, things that are hard for you to confront, especially if you have children, counseling so that you become better parents. Not because there's something fundamentally wrong with you, but because that's a value set. But here it's saying that there's a real kind of like the things you avoid looking at are in some way getting broken down, which means that invariably you will be looking at them. There will be situations that force you to kind of problem solve aspects of your life, aspects of who you are in a fundamental way, not just like a day-to-day level. There will be some pretty big opportunities to confront, to face, to grow beyond. And I think that it's maybe born out of your outward kind of looking energy this year. You're looking out at other people, like you're explorer Scorpio this year, because you're essentially healed. I know Scorpio is emotional, so you always do that emotional understanding, kind of working through things on an emotional level. That's always a part of Scorpio energy. But your year, remember, is the year of days, looking outward, and it's very much kind of, just not so much that you have to heal that much. It's more like studying the outside world or finding new places to be in. Instinct. This is the direction I want to go. I'm being called to do this. Exploratory. The Death card is clarified with the Five of Pentacles. So I think that reciprocity will be very deep in your life, especially for those of you, if you're confronted with a situation in which somebody's experiencing loss, especially loss of a family member or someone that they care about. Be very careful with that situation, because I'm not saying that you will experience loss. We all experience loss sometime. And this is essentially saying that when it's your turn, that karma will be very, direct. So it's saying like when you have a friend who's lost a family member or something else, and you're being called in some way to provide support, that goes back to you very, very quickly. How you treat others is how you will be treated, and I don't mean to taunt you with that. It's an abrupt energy. It's just saying this is what it is. And then we have the World card. A woman from the world is helping you see things about yourself. That's why I thought she was a counselor. Somebody's looking straight at you, giving you provisions, ideas, hope, trying to problem solve things about your life. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. It says King of Pentacles, like right there. A Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. A strong energy coming into your life. Social mobility, financial mobility. A very strong relationship with either a Cancer or an Earth sign, I think. Maybe a Leo, but if it's a Leo, then they're not going to be liked by your friends. If it's a Leo, people will be like, what are you doing with the Leo Scorpio? They won't say it that way, but they won't like that person. But if it's Cancer or Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, then that person is going to be quite a star in your life. And then we have the Nine of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. Which options do you choose? I think, if anything, the stress comes in exactly trying to figure out which option to pursue. You have a lot of things before you, and it really feels like you're not used to having so many opportunities before you. So it's sort of it's kind of going to be overwhelming, but it's saying that you're going to choose the right one. Okay, more clarifiers. So Sun and Scorpio here. So very, very like synchronicity is running through Sun and Scorpio. That's the same card. So it's saying like synchronicity is here over and over. The timing is perfect. And then we have the Five of Wands. That's the same card as here, Five of Fire. So removing yourself from conflict. An older woman gives you away from a conflict that you're facing. Your instincts get you away from a conflict. You move on from a conflict. It's not a huge conflict. It's a push and pull with others. You turn inward when there is a conflict around you. It's kind of like, and you learn lessons when there is this conflict, and you go back to circumstances much stronger once you've sorted it out. So it's like a conflict, like a push and pull with somebody else, somebody with whom you're competing. And then we have the Page of Discs, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transits in Earth as well. It's saying that for many of you, this line to me really looks like getting ready to have children, getting ready to, like, certain things in your life have certain things about your life in which you were very vulnerable are being put away, and that's your priority this year. And if you already are past having kids or don't want kids or something like that, then it's going to be for your children or for young energies around you. There's a real need to address your relationships with other people and how they unfold. And so, yeah, it's just, it's like the things that hurt you in high school, the immaturity, putting it away and getting, this is the line. Do you see this? There's all these cards of your relationships, karma, the zombies of the past, and the flaky people. All of those things you work your way around. It's really kind of toughing it out or figuring it out for the benefit of people you love. And then the last line is the Nine of Rods. Okay, so you'll spend actually a lot of time alone this year, but not lonely, just choosing to be alone and separating yourself. Maybe talking on the internet with someone or talking on the phone with someone far away. You might have like a friendship from far away, and you're going to be working through some darker energies because she or he can see that in you from far away, and that's a good thing. Also, I think you'll be really understanding the karma and how it works. Like, this is tied, the reason the tetherball thing is so intense is that it's very karmic and very connected to past life events. So you have to, in some way, figure out what it is or why it is the way it is. What is the sense in things. And then a great opportunity brings you stress, but you will make the right decision about it. And I think that it's going to be affirmative. You'll realize how much someone means to you, how much someone is a positive influence on you, and then it'll be smooth sailing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for getting the membership. I really appreciate you guys. And I'm putting it up right now, so if you're watching, enjoy. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.